All right, everybody, good day. Cheese Sewing Tips is here to save the day. What I'm doing right now is I'm just doing a suit jacket and the skirt. I'm moving from an older pattern, which I like. And I noticed that my fabric that I'm using is real tight. So it's one of those types of diameters and measurements of the amount of fabric that I'm using. You can't make not one mistake. Yes, so when you're laying down a pattern, precisely lay it down first. Make sure that you have everything measured, placed in the right sections. You're saving material by not placing material, your pattern just everywhere. You just going to the farthest corner that you can get to when you start, and then you work your way over, down, or either out, depending on the type of width of material that you're using. Also, this is what I'm going to iterate into what I'm saying to everyone, and that is to everyone. Something came to me, and this is why I'm living the way I'm living now, because I realized that for an extent part of my time of my life, I have realized that you cannot expect something to happen if you're going to just sit there. You have to get up and move. Faith without works is dead. I was given the gift of sewing when I was 10 years old. At the age of 10 years old, I was led to go into my closet in my father's house, and there was a closet that they would use to store mean coats. And when I opened this closet, I looked and I saw this sewing machine. I mean, really, to be truthful, let me back that up. I didn't even know what this big box was. So I dragged this big box out, and I was so curious. I dragged it out. It was very heavy. And I finally was able to get it up on the dining room table. And when I opened this machine up, I said, oh my God, this is, and it was like, this is my life. I want to learn this at the age of 10 years old. I had came from a very difficult situation in my life. And at that age, no 10-year-old should have been going through what I was going through, but it was God that placed that machine in my life. I didn't even know how to thread it. I didn't know how to work it. I didn't know anything. There was no one there for me. To make a long story short, this is just part one. From that stage, at the age of 10 years old, I took it upon myself with the power, insight within me to repair that machine, to learn how to thread that machine, and to get it running. I didn't know anything. No one taught me anything. So what I'm saying to you, my friends, don't ever underestimate the power of yourself and what's inside of you. Never sit there and say that I want this and I want that, and never go after it. You gotta make it work. You gotta put your hands out there and your mind into it. You gotta work at it. You gotta work until it comes to pass, until it comes to life. And then you go further to the next level. And that's what I'm saying. What I'm looking at is people are just sitting and they're worshiping God and they're praising God and they're getting all happy and they're shouting in church and all that, but nothing is happening because people don't realize, like Apostle Herman Murray said, you have to put your faith to work. Faith without works to dead. And he gave a very, very enlightening sermon. And you know what? Sometimes it's not who you know, it's what comes into your spirit so that you can become effective. Sometimes you're left out there to do it by yourself. Sometimes you have so many people around you, it doesn't happen. But you have to set yourself aside in order for you to hear and put things to work like I'm doing today. Cheese sewing tips, part 1. Part 2 is next.